December 21st, 2016. Today is Solstice, thus making it on the Northern Hemisphere the shortest day of the year and on the Southern Hemisphere the longest day of the year. Shortest and longest in daylight hours, not actual time. That would have been crazy. The word solstice is derived from the Latin sol and sistere. That's because on the solstices the sun stands still in declination. That means that the sun observed from the earth will each day appear to climb either higher and higher on the sky or lower and lower. This happens gradually up until solstice, where the sun appears to stand still before the opposite process starts. This will then carry on up until the next solstice, where the process is again reversed. The winter solstice was immensely important because the people were economically dependent on monitoring the progress of the seasons. Starvation was common in the first months of winter, also called the famine months. Midwinter feasts were celebrated, and most cattle were slaughtered. This was so that they didn't have to be fed during the winter months. This also made it so that the midwinter time was almost the only time of year where fresh supply of meat was plentiful. The majority of wine and beer made throughout the year was also finally fermented and ready for drinking. Because the winter solstice was seen as a reversal of the sun's ebbing presence in the sky, concepts of births or rebirths of sun gods have been common. There have been many different gods which have been celebrated around the time of the solstice. One of the most famous ones is Sol Invictus, which was originally a Syrian god who later became adopted and made chief god in the Roman Empire. His holiday was traditionally celebrated on the 25th of December, and as I talked about in yesterday's video, it was convenient for the early Christians to just adopt this day as a Christian celebration day as well. Tomorrow the daylight hours will either start to become longer or shorter depending on which hemisphere you live on. But there's still 3 days left until Christmas Eve. It's not at all surprising that the solstices, and maybe particularly the winter solstice, held an important part in human culture. Do you celebrate the solstice in any particular way? Me personally, I am very looking forward to longer daylight hours. But anyway, see you tomorrow.